this is part 4 of the video of Project 3 Drainage Basin Maps. Now, like I said before, we're going to start to go to our layout view. So you're going to switch to your layout view. But notice, right now, the layout view, when we go to the layout view, at the beginning of this project, I actually already had you bring in your title block. We started with our title block, which is pretty good to do for the most part. But if you're following the instructions on the PDF, let me show you those again. So here's the instructions on the PDF. When we switch to the layout view, this is what you all will see if you're following along in the PDF also. So in this, I've actually switched up the instructions, but we're going to be creating the same map when we're done. So the next part of the instructions tell you to go on to importing your title block. So when you import your title block, it's going to look like this. So that's where we're at right now, is I've got my project looking like this. Now, the next thing is we have our source information that I'm going to go ahead and show you how to adjust. So the first thing I want to do is this source information, and this is a little bit different that I'm showing. So in here on Insert, Dynamic Text, Service Layer Credits. I'm going to click that, and what it's going to do is it's actually going to take this information down here and turn it into text that I can actually go ahead and pull over and manipulate later. Now, we need to make sure that our map, when we have it here, the map that we had here, remember that we created, I'm switching back to Data View. We had this at, I'm going to pull in my bookmark, at a scale of 12,000. So I need a scale of 12,000 here. Now, when we go to our data view, it doesn't have to be, but it really does help to have them similar scales. We're going to end up having the data view to be 12,000. Okay? Now it should look something like this. Now we need to work on our scale bar. Notice our scale bar down here is all messed up. I'm going to, and now I got to make sure I have I need my layout toolbar. I'm going to bring that down here. Doesn't matter where you sync it. I'm not going to mess with moving it around right now. So I need to work with the scale. So get out of the command by clicking the little black arrow. Double click on the scale, and instead of it saying 100 feet, I need it to say 1,000. And I'm going to leave everything else as is. And I'm going to go okay. Now, the next thing that I want to do, I'm going to pan over here, and I'm going to change the name of my map. So I'm going to click out of there, and I'm going to click on name of the map. Where it says name of the map, I'm going to say Drainage Basin Map. Caps, Drainage Basin Map. Apply and OK. Now, where it says figure, I'm going to pan over here. Where it says figure, I'm going to say Project 3. So I'm going to click on this to get out of it. And I'm going to say Project 3. Apply and OK. It's not in the center, so remember what we did before. We had to hit Shift and the box that's around the project. Now I'm missing my graphics bar, so I got to go get it. Click on my graphics bar. I'm going to drag this down here. And now that I've got these two selected, I'm going to click in the center and in the center. Okay? Click outside and I'm set. The next thing that we need to do is we need to work on our legend. So I'm going to zoom to extents out here so I can see my whole page. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to insert my legend. Now, the information that I want on there, I want Valencia College, I want what I don't want, I should say, be easier. I don't want this information here. So I'm going to take all of those and I'm going to send them that direction. All right. Now, what I've left, I'm going to take the world imagery and send it that direction too. So I'm left with these pieces of information. So I'm going to click on Next, Valencia College Topo, and the Valencia Drainage Basin. It's going to take a minute. Now, I don't need this, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And I'm going to click Next, because I've already got my legend title over here. I'm not going to do a border or anything like that, so I'm going to go Next. And then I'm going to hit Next again. I'm leaving all of this default for right now. And Finish. When we do that, we get this information that looks like this. Now notice all the labels. Before, if you're following the instructions in the PDF, I actually created them with all these labels, and then I realized a little bit late, since I'd already created the entire selection, that I didn't really need it. I only needed the Shingle Creek and the drainage basin. So now I'm going to, if you're following the instructions, let me just show you. Because I realized it too late when I was making the instructions, and it's a little hard to go backwards. If you're looking at the instructions, it looks like this. So it says, okay, so we're making the legend. And then when I did that, it created all of these because I didn't actually break the drainage basins down into the two basins that I had used, the Shingle Creek and Unnamed. So if you're following the directions in the PDF, you're like, oh, she didn't do something different. This is where I actually went in and selected just the two basins that I wanted. So this was a little bit of an afterthought when I did the instructions the first go around. So I'm going to leave that as is. So I went through here and basically I said, okay, I'm going to select the two features that I wanted. And this should be familiar with what you had done before. Now I'm on to this page and I'm going to make the legend look good. So now I'm going to go ahead and get back out of that. Once I've inserted this legend, I can bring it over here and I can drag this out to make it a certain size to fit inside there. Okay? It can look like that, but I can also, and I need to zoom in so I can see this. Oops, too tight. Now, so we want it to fit inside the title block and make it look nice. So I still need to zoom out a bit. Now to get the drainage basin to look like the map that I show here, see how it has two separate layers? I'm actually going to create a second drainage, a second legend. So I don't have them stacked on top of each other. So come back over here, and I am going to go Insert, Legend, and do the exact same thing that I did before. So I'm going to take this to that, push it over. Next. On this one, I'm going to take, oops, I hit Next too soon. I need to go and put the Valencia Basin. Okay, I'm going to go back. I don't want the Valencia one, so I want that. I want the college and the topo. Next, I'm going to take the legend name off. Next, finish. Right. So I've got that, and now what I've got is I'm going to double click on this, and I'm actually going to take those two and send them back. Apply and OK. Now you can also change the text height. So if I double click on the drainage basins, I can go to the, I'm sorry. Go to the General tab, and it's not what I wanted to do. So once you're on the double click the legend properties, you're going to go to items. When that pops up, I'm going to adjust the drainage basin information. So I'm going to say that from there, I double click the name of the drainage basins and I go to general. Now on this, the way that I want to show is I'm going to uncheck show headings. So I'm going to uncheck that. Okay, and I'm going to change the height to 11. So I'm going to click OK. I'm going to click the symbols. I'm sorry. Oops. Cancel that. Double click this. And I'm going to go to layer name symbol. Click that. Seems like I'm click happy today. And I'm going to change that to 11. Click OK. Click OK. Click OK. And then now it looks like this. Let me zoom out. I'll go 1:1 and just zoom in. I'm having problems with my regeneration. I'm going to grip this box. Get out of there. Grip this part and come over here. Okay. You can hold shift and then I could align the tops if I wanted. As soon as I find it, I'll align the tops. So it looks like that. Okay. So this is giving you an idea how to select objects or select features and isolate those. Now, in the source, I'm going to come back and I'm going to zoom to my extents. I have this information here. I'm going to change that to a 5. And sometimes you actually might have to make that information area a little bit bigger to get all your source information in. Click that little box so I can grip it. Alright, move that up. I'm actually going to give myself a little bit of area for my source information. So I'm just going to grip this and drag it down to here. Now I'm going to take my text, my legend information, and drag it down also. Because the other thing that I have to put in here, if y'all remember correctly, is I have the information of the website, the fgdl.org basin. I'm going to put that in all lowercase, fgdl.org. Can't type. Orange County Drainage Basin parcels and topographic information. Okay. Apply and OK. And that allows me to have all the information that I've been working on in one place. Let me pull this down so you can see all the information. And I'm going to move my source box down a little bit. Alright, so that's what it's going to end up looking like. Now you can make the text smaller if you want. Double click that. You can bold it. I'm going to make that text a little bit smaller. To do that, I can come over here and say to apply to all these labels and go symbol. And I'm going to change that to 10. Okay, apply, and okay. So that made it a little bit smaller so it's not so large. When I'm working on these, I would actually want everything to look similar. So in the next video, we might start working on how to make sure that this looks cohesive. So the text styles are all the same. But I'm not going to do that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to export my map. And I'm going to put it in the file folder on my C drive. So when you copy it to school and to home. And I'm going to call it Project 3 Drainage Basins. And I'm going to save. Notice that what it does is it actually puts all my updated information down here on my document path also. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and save this also. And now I'm going to go to my Project 3 and see what my map looks like. Alright, so that's what the map looks like. Not too bad. Alright, next time we should label the Valencia College site with the name. I would actually recommend cleaning up, making the text different styles, but for right now, this is the general idea. I want you to practice on this, and then the next map, I want you to work on making the map pop. As in, you make the map with the right colors. You should symbolize the text. We should have a leader line or something that says this is Valencia College, not just the dot, maybe a school symbol, those types of things. But as we go along, this is our third project, so not too bad. But we'll be learning more of the aesthetics through the rest of the semester.